Okay, into trending topics. Good morning to you. Welcome if you've just woken up. What's the time now? It's almost 25 minutes before 7 o'clock. So this is what social media are speaking about. Let's have a look. Okay, fourth wave. Well, no surprise there. So that's what everybody's talking to now. And we heard that big announcement coming out yesterday, talking to the fact that a new variant has been discovered. And that, of course, is something, I think it was first detected in Botswana, but it's here in South Africa. It's also in Hong Kong. There have been cases detected. Apparently, this is a very easy variant to detect. It'll be given a name today, a proper name, and they've decided right at the beginning when they started naming the different variants to give it a Greek name. So we'll see what it'll be named today. But you know, the reality is we've just been hearing from scientists and doctors that this is highly transmissible. It's mutated. They're worrying about the vaccine, if it works. They're questioning whether or not people that were infected with the Delta variant, do they have any immunity to this one? Or it's just so many unanswered questions right now. But this is it. And we saw already the UK putting South Africa again on the red list, and flights are being cancelled left, right and centre for South Africans. So indeed, not good news at all.
And just drilling down slightly, Leanne, you look at some of the reports. Apparently the first cases of this new variant, 3 were found in Botswana, followed by 6 in South Africa and 1 in Hong Kong, which involved a traveller returning from South Africa. And, you know, we'll be speaking to Professor Julio de Oliveira later on, but quite worrying, it seems, that this would be able to evade, as we've been saying in the news, evade natural and vaccine immunity, apparently. But Professor will be able to tell us more. But incidentally, Ridwan Suleiman, and we always speak to him as well, just looking at taking a snapshot of Gauteng, for example, on what's happening now. And he says you have 1,950 new cases. That was yesterday, the biggest single day increase since the 13th of August. And then the case incidence, about 5 new cases per 100,000 K. And then also 707 people currently in hospital and 55 in ICU.
This one scared me though. 308% week-on-week increase.
Yes,
that was a very scary statistic. But yeah, look, I don't know. It's a hard and very bitter pill to swallow, because you know it has been predicted this was coming. People asking questions. Gosh, the elections, everything was fine, and now suddenly it's appeared. Again, a lot of skepticism out there surrounding this, But yeah, there are people are getting sick, and we're seeing it again. So let's just be very, very vigilant out there.
And then, of course, hashtag ANC presser. And this, of course, one that had been postponed from earlier on in the week. The ANC coming out, the presser that had the Twitterati responding to it most of last night and this morning as well. Basically looking at the reasons for the poor performance, also coalition talks and how these turned out, all sorts of things there.
Yeah, you're leaving an important one out. The SABC was also blamed for it. So, you know, that's something that we need to, I suppose, talk to. And the SABC putting out a statement last night, basically saying that the SABC notes with concern the allegations by Minister Fikile Mbalula that the SABC's coverage of the local government elections was to blame for low voter turnout and the ANC's poor performance in several municipalities and metros. The statement goes on to say Minister Mbalula has also personalised the matter by unacceptably singling out and criticising SABC Group Executive of News and Current Affairs, Ms. Patiswa Machopeni. It says that, this is from the SABC, by the way, the ANC has not submitted any written evidence to substantiate these allegations. SABC management believes that SABC News covered these elections in line with its editorial policies and ICASA's election regulations. SABC management therefore rejects Minister Mbalula's allegations in the strongest terms. So it's a bit longer, but that's the crux of it.
And of course, the allegation is that the SABC and SABC News, through a program such as Service Delivery Gauge,
which you hosted, by the way.
I hosted, decampaigned the ANC. So the avenues are clear. If the ANC feels that way, I think they know where to take this. You know, there are statutory avenues to follow. There's the BCCSA, you know, go speak to ICASA, whoever. There are avenues that you can follow should you feel that aggrieved about what has happened to you. But I would say, go watch it back. go watch those programs again, and let's talk again.
I was going to repeat the same thing. Go watch it. Look at what people were saying, because the reality is that is people's lived experience on the ground, not making up stories. It's going and looking at the living conditions of South Africans, and that's what's happening. So, you know, the fact that it was brought about in a way and shown to South Africa, I mean, if that affected people's vote, then so be it. But the reality is we are here to tell people stories, not to feed narrative, to tell people stories, and that's what was going on.
And I think the Twitterati responded as well in terms of, you know, you need to do your job. If these municipalities were well run, that would have showed up.
Yeah, would have been a different
unfortunately,
story.
what it showed, as you say, is people's lived reality.
Okay, so that was one of the trends. Next trend, I think, is Thabo Mbeki. Did you read that? Did you read his letter?
I did.
I was sort of getting it last night, half falling asleep, but I'm trying to read it this morning. I know you've got it there. So quite an interesting
well,
one.
basically talking about what needs to happen. You know, looking at what happened during the elections, where this leaves the movement, and what needs to really happen, doing some introspection for the ANC to move forward.
Yeah, all right, and just quite impressive. Just it needs to be really an agent of change, progressive change, and lots of things. So that's, I think
he
that's
goes and outlines it quite neatly in terms of what he means by those various steps that are outlined.
Yeah, and then the last one is Zimbabweans, and I know that there's been a lot of calls and. If I'm not mistaken, there was even a walk to the union buildings at some time this week, calling for the non-renewal of work permits for Zimbabweans that are living in South Africa and working in Zimbabwe, in South Africa. And I think they're saying that a decision by Cabinet could see scores of Zimbabweans living and working in South Africa having no option but to return home. This is a headline I'm reading from the Times. Should they not secure work permits and other relevant documents? So it's all about the renewal of documents.
A decision by Cabinet to, you know, the decision centres around doing away with that special permit for Zimbabweans. And the Minister in the Presidency, Mondi Gungubele, during those briefings that he does, the post-Cabinet briefings on Thursday morning, alluded to this. So this means that the impact it will have would be that, as you said from that headline, you would have scores of people not being able to come and receive those permits again for work in South Africa. But government has decided to give a grace period of 12 months on this. So we'll see how it all plays out.
Yeah, I think we should perhaps invite the Minister just to
for
talk
clarity
about that. Because
on all of this.
There are a lot of foreign nationals that are working here in the country with these work permits, and I don't think they know what to do. So, you know, that's something we need to focus on and give advice.
It's a fine balancing act, because you know that many South Africans have also for the longest time been aggrieved about the types of jobs, the sort of jobs that are being taken up by foreigners in South Africa, saying that given our high unemployment rate, even at the official level, you know, there has to be some form of protectionism around some sectors of the economy and some jobs.
All right, so as you see, lots to talk about, but we have got an interview coming up, and this is all about the gender-based violence. So we want to pay attention to that. That'll be happening straight after the break. Let's quickly take that break, and then we'll be in conversation.